So, as I said, we will be discussing about Gen AI and prompt engineering. Okay. So, as part of the QA, as part of the testing approach, right, we need to understand that how this Gen AI can basically make it like revolution for QA, right? And how to craft the effective prompts or apply while doing this testing part of that in real world, right? That's something we are going to understand today. So that's the main topic of that. So, and not only understand, we are also going to do some hands-on session as well, where you'll understand that how immediately we can start using or implementing this AI assisted testing in your daily work, whether you're a manual tester, whether you're automation tester, whatever, right? I mean, nowadays, even there are people using as a QA lead, QA manager, everyone has to use the AI. So we'll understand that very first thing from all of you. Maybe you can just raise your hand also. That's fine. That how many of you started using Gen AI in any form of that? Not even testing. Forget about testing. How many of you started using Gen AI? We all everyone use that called ChatGPT, Copilot, Google Gemini, and so many things are there, right? Yes. Have you started using them? So Gen AI is nothing new, but have you started using Gen AI in testing? That's the question, right? We know yeah, Rene doing that. That's great. So Gen AI not only just generating the text, not generating the images, not generating the videos, but also generate, or you can say sort of a lot of expectation as a testing also we can do. So how this Gen AI going to help you to do manual testing or design the test cases in the testing side, design the your test data as well, because that is also important, right? And how this prompt going to help you, or you can say effective prompt going to help you in a specific example in the QA side of it, right? That's something we are going to discuss today. And also we do some hands-on on that as well. And that is how we are going to, look at the AI assisted testing approach, right? That's something today agenda would be we are going to follow. So many of the time, right, we basically feel that is AI going to, replace our testing job or even development job? Answer is both, right? Isn't it? Answer is both. If you look at, if you do not know AI is not going to replace your job, but definitely the person who knows AI, excuse me, the person who knows AI, that person going to replace your job, excuse me, with do not know AI. That's the real time scenario going to happen. So that's the reason we are going to equipped with the AI. Yes, that's great, Kapo. You have to go through a lot of learning as well. Yeah, that's good. You're going through the learning part. Okay, so even developers started using GitHub Copilot or Codium. I've gone through also training of that part as well, where they started using AI also to generate the code or to fix the bug or doing unit testing, doing development documentation. They started using that AI as well, not only tester. So it's all about how to be. more productive at work. Either you are a developer or tester, doesn't matter. I'm only focusing into testing today. Even as a Scrum Master, even as a project manager, we are all using AI to do our task in lesser time. So it's all about what AI does it. It's doing wonder. That's something we cannot deny. But mainly the AI is helping us to do very, very much work in lesser time, right? Don't have to do a lot of hard work. So same thing we are going to say here, that how much time you can save using this Gen AI to design our test cases, to analyze the result, identifying different scenarios so that you can find the bug, right? So that is the thing we can understand here in this session is all about how to use this Gen AI and what Gen AI can do for you as a QA, and going to write effective prompts which can generate effective testing output. And let's look at some real-time scenario what we can do. Okay, that's something we are going to talk about in today's session. So if you understand the traditional way of writing the test cases, that's something we know because we are all go through the training and all, right. Let's understand. Let me share this screen with you so you can also look at right what I'm trying to say here. If you look at here, we are saying that what is Gen AI? Now, Gen AI basically, if you understand that it is a large language model trained on vast text data that can understand context and generate human-like output based on prompts what we give. So traditional output, what automation, what we do, and what AI is testing, what or how can be done, right? So traditionally, if you look at, we are writing a fixed X script, automation script, where AI is still going to be do adaptive responses. You give a prompt and give you the response, and it is going to test. Of course, we write all these framework that is nothing but called explicit logic, and this is going to be handles some ambiguity as well, right? Code we are going to write in automation, right? Here we have natural language. You just write a prompt. That's it. It is rigid, meaning that yes, still you can automate a couple of things, but you have to keep maintaining, right? By required human, involvement there, right? But this is flexible and creative. We in AI world, we are saying that all the automation led AI tool is also doing auto healing. Something change in the software, the automation AI as automation going to take care of the changes by itself. That's something we are going to look at, right? So we need to understand the QA use cases like test cases generation from requirement, right? GenAI can help you in this all area. Test cases also you can generate using AI from requirement directly. You can understand some bug report analysis and enhancement. See, look at here. We all log bug, right? But if you have to analyze that, okay, if you give list of bugs and you look at the list of test cases, and if you ask them, hey, where this bug can impact as well, right? So that is something we can understand the bug part of that. It will also help you to generate the data, test data for various test scenario to test them. Also, it will help you into API testing. If you give that, okay, these are the APIs what we need to test, and this is what you're expecting, and you can give this in automation and documentation can be also help you to give you result. And of course, if you have to document something, let's say you have to prepare a test plan, some test reports, these all things also can be used as an AI tool. So I think many things we can do using Gen AI. So Gen AI is basically going to help you in the QA in various space. Now you need to understand that how we can use this Gen AI in this space using for QA, right? QA, right? Isn't it? So you need to understand that GenAI, we understand very much, right? We know that how GenAI can be used, but you need to also understand them that this GenAI, how we can use them. GenAI can help you to generate everything as we discussed. Without prompt is not possible. As I said, we will be using natural language. So how we can use natural language? And that required called prompt engineering. So today let's talk about some basics, core principle about prompt engineering, which required a clarity about what you want, right? You have to give the uh, detail items, detail level of level of details as well while giving the prompt. It's just not just type, okay, hey, I want test cases. It will not help you. It will give you very much generic test cases, which is going to not help you to find the bug. Even developer that much can think. You have to also give a context. There is always remember, right? Anything is working. If you want to work especially in GenAI, right? Without context is not going to give you the specific result. So if you want a specific result to test some application or technology or many other constraints are there, right? If you want to you know get this output from the GenAI, then prompt is very much important. Context is very much important. And of course, you can give some constant, right? Let's say the requirement is given there, or you have to design using different test design technique. You have to give them boundary and different limitation. And then according to that, this GenAI going to help you to generate test data and test cases as well. You also have to give in the prompt that what kind of role you're playing, right, in this while testing this application. So if you don't give like act as a QA engineer or senior QA engineer or what testing you want to perform, right? Unless until you don't make your Gen AI, okay, to make sure that what kind of role you want to them play. It's not about you because Gen AI going to do test case design, test data preparation, and all these areas, right? If Gen AI going to do, then you have to make the role playing from their side. So if you want to give something called QA specific prompt, this is how it is going to help. So let's say, you can just give like this, okay? This is something as an example, if you look at, act as a QA engineer, generate 10 boundaries values test cases for a login page with username 5 to 15 characters and password 8 to 12 characters, right? See here, this is something called you're giving the boundaries, you're giving the requirement, you're giving some limitation as well that, okay, only going to be 8 to 12 characters, right? For username, for password can be multiple things, right? It can be enhanced more, right? You're also saying that as a QA engineer, right? So you're also giving the role, what role GenAI should play. The second prompt could be analyze this requirement and create a decision table for this test scenario. And again, you can give the requirement over here. So you want to see what is the use of decision table. So set of requirement will be there and you can create multiple test scenario from there, right? So you give the requirement and you say, hey, analyze this requirement and create a decision table for to define a lot of test scenario. So this is how you have to give this prompt with this context using this core principle, then definitely going to give you the different output. If you give just, hey, can you give me the test case for this? Okay, so of course you can give multiple prompts, but what majorly we are dealing with the called test case generation, test data preparation. That is the more important for us, especially in testing, because these are the two areas which can help you to find a bug. Yes. So that's something very important to understand the prompt core principle, like how to leverage them, how to use them. And of course, You cannot just rely on the AI. You have to also, go through, understand them, right? And look at the output as well, because only Gen AI or any tool you use, okay, any AI tool you use, right? It is given there in the last right line that this is AI can make any mistake. So you have to always look at that. What the output you got, is it in line with your input or not, right? If something is not correct, then you have to also correct it. So as a tester, we have to go and review them. You cannot completely rely on that, right? You can use them as a servant, but you cannot rely 100% on the AI. Okay, so that also you need to understand, right? Now let's look at a couple of things what we can do as part of the uh, or where we can use them as well, right? Let's look at that as well. So let's say some hands-on use case we can do, uh, called test case design. So we'll use all these technique, okay, and then we can say, can you give me detailed test cases for particular specific scenario? We have been seeing like a lot of times for login, right? Let's look at some example called, can you generate a test cases, okay, for password reset feature and with email verification? How we can do that? So let's look at some use cases of that, okay, and let's see how can we design the test cases from there. But you have to input user story for that, right? So let me open my AI, which is called ChatGPT. You can use anything, but I'm just using ChatGPT. And let me share my screen. Hope you can all see my screen as a chat GPT. And let me take as an input, okay, through which we can get the user story, because we are going to work on uh, agile model, right? We'll be using all agile model, we'll be having user story. And let's look at one of the use cases or user story as part of the called a password reset, or you can say password recovery. So if I'm going to give a description of user story over here as a AI tool, right? This is the story we have to give, correct? Now, as we discuss here, input a user story and see how the AI going to generate, okay, the multiple test cases, or you can say using this equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis, or decision table as well, right? To generate detailed test cases. Now, how to give this prompt? That's something we always looked at, right? So if I'm going to use the prompt, okay, which is tell you that use this generate, act as a test QA engineer, right? And we'll say act as a QA engineer, generate at least 10 test cases. Now, this is something for as a user, I want to recover my password via email or SMS, right? So the two approach we are leading through, so that I can regain access to my account if I forgot my password. Acceptance criteria are users can request password recovery via email or SMS. The system sends a recovery link or code to the user's email or phone number so that users can reset their password using the link or code provided. So basically, it is nothing but called authentication, right? So system will authenticate that, okay, you are the right person, and it will allow to, reset your password as well once you verify them. So generate 10 test cases, but for using what? Okay, that's something also you have to give, right? So we can give, hey, let's use all the technique, right? All the technique. Let's say generates using equivalence partitioning, or we can say boundary analysis also, and and decision table as well. Okay. So use that, right? Using equivalent class partitioning, boundary value analysis, and decision table test cases with detailed steps. Now, this is the prompt which you have given using technique, also making a role through AI tool. We are the QA engineer. Okay. And this is the requirement we are going to given here. So if you use them, I'll share entire, what I'm going to use. Okay. I'll share there's a link for all these prompt and result as well, so that you can use them in your, practice and as well. Okay. So let me generate and let's see what is going to come. Whether it is generating, right? This is something you can also give or do exercise on daily basis and look at, right, how much AI can help you. Now, this is something is not like, you have to fully depend on the AI, right? You should not. Developer cannot write entire code or develop the application using AI, but they can take help of that. A lot of time can be saved. And that is what the industry is looking for. Okay. So still they're analyzing this entire, test cases, this, outline and everything, and going to give that. Now, similarly, how we can use bug reporting enhancement, right? Many times, developers are not clear about what bug you reported. So if you want to give a specific, you know, prompt to report the bug also, right? In terms of what is these steps to reproduce, what is the expected result, what is the actual result, what is the severity justification, why you given high severity, why you given medium severity. There'll be sometime, fight between QA and developer also, right? Saying that, hey, why you given high severity? It is not like high severity. It can be, say, medium severity also. So these all things also you can, bug reporting also can be enhanced using AI tool. You know what is the bug, but a lot of time we spend to log the bug, okay, by giving a lot of steps, then what is expected, what is actual, and why the severity all about, right? So you can give this lot of details in the, while reporting the bug, which will help developer to fix it as soon as possible. So now if you look at, it took 56 seconds, but look at what kind of test cases can generate. So also it has taken assumption as well, that for test data and boundaries, these are the registered email address, which should be in this format. Phone number, because I'm from India, so it recognized that, and they've also taken this random phone number. Unregistered email ID, if you use that, an invalid phone number going to be used, then it is going to get different outcome altogether, right? Recovery link going to be, let's say, time. This is called time to leave, right? Or time to live, you can say, right? It will not be there forever, right? It has to be only for 15 minutes. Or OTP code should be 6 digit. New password policy, minimum 8 character, maximum 64 character. No other complexity rules assumed. We're saying that no other rules, only character I'm talking about, but you can give a lot of complexity as well, right? This is the assumption it is also has given you. This assumption can be modified or fit into your test cases based on the, again, further requirement what you have. Look at here. Test case one, what we are saying that recover via email, that is called happy path, right? We know that this is going to happen. So you can use equivalence partitioning, giving the different uh, email, right? And check that whether this particular account is active. So also a step has been given as well, right? This is called happy path, should work, even developer also testing them. Okay. And you can get to know, okay, this is how you're going to expect that the system going to confirm your email accepted and sends recovery link. And you can open that and you can change your passwords, and then you can sign with new password, work successfully. So that is going to be your account recovery step, right? Via email. Same thing you can use in SMS as well. So if you give email phone number, you'll get passcode there or some SMS form of code, which you can enter that. And again, you can set a valid password. And again, you can reset successfully and you can log in using that password. Let's say you're giving the some of the invalid test case also, right? You give email which is not registered. So this is something called equivalence partitioning, right? What is the difference between equivalence partitioning boundary value? Equivalence partitioning, we say valid test data and invalid test data. I'm not talking about the range of the data. No. So email, you can give something not registered, right? So if that's something you give and say forget password, then you can submit. Process will submitting is not a problem, but only the problem will be you'll not be getting any email, back that okay, hey, your password link or reset should be there. So because email will not be sent because you've given wrong email address here or not registered email ID here, right? So you're not going to or you're not able to set or reset the password because of email ID is not registered. So this is something called one of the scenario from equivalence class partitioning which can be used. Correct? Similar line you can look at for invalid phone number as well. If you give something invalid phone number, again you will not going to receive the SMS and will still remain the same page where you want to reset the password. Now look at something called boundary value as well. Now, this is something going to be used not while giving the data, but while setting up the new password. So you have assumption that, okay, this is going to be 8 character minimum and 64 character maximum. So again, you can use that, recovery, valid recovery link. You have to use that step. Then only you can do this password reset, right? So from there, you can go from here called open reset page via link and enter 8 character password and see it is able to reset your password or not. So password should be accepted and reset is going to be successful. Then you can log in to that particular application. If you give, this is called boundary analysis. So you have to give the lower range of that as well. So look at with 7-digit password and check. Of course, your link is active. Recovery link is also good. But when you enter the 7-character password and confirm, it is saying that, hey, this inline error going to indicate that minimum length should be 8 character and maximum should be 64. So this is condition is not fulfilling and that's why you're not able to reset the password. Now, we have used all these links before expiry. So time to leave, right, near lower boundary of expiry. Let's say you're about to, expire the time, right? Because every link is going to work for a specific time. Okay, sometime within 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, depending on that. So within that duration, you have to reset the password. Otherwise, that link will never be working after that. So check, at least before just expiry and see it is able to do or not. So it is going to do because by the time you clicked on recovery link and you go and reset the password, the moment you set the password, it is going to happen. All right. Now look at after expiry. See, look at after expiry. And you can try after expiry and then, the moment you attempt to reset the password, it will say, hey, link expired. Your reset got blocked. So again, you have option to resend the recovery again, right? Link within the time to leave password that is going to come. Now this is called so these are where we are used equivalence partitioning. We also used boundary analysis also. Now let's look at called decision table derived test cases. So you have so many condition, right? So many things can be also assumed, right? Like rule number 1, is account exist? Choose send on the file. Like, this is going to be called, you can give Y, which is going to be called account exist. Y, yes, account exist, not chosen final, maybe on file. I think something which is generated here, we are not able to understand them probably. Let's see what is requirement 1, right? Are they given anything R1, R2? It's called requirement 1, requirement 2. Identifier format valid. Choose channel on file. That's something I'm talking about. Looks like, just let's understand, looks like uh, maybe email or SMS. While format can be your correct or wrong. Okay. X and A, send token, send SMS. X and B, suggest alternate channel or show validation error. What else? Anything else? I think that's all right. So you can use combination of things, right? And you can make the decision table. And from here, you can also design our test case as well. So look at here, decision table to what they're saying. SMS chosen, but no phone on profile. So offer only email, meaning that you have chosen SMS, but you have not registered using phone. You have only email. So that is the case which is saying here. It will send you a link, but on the email, not in the SMS because it is not registered. So user given the email ID exists without a phone on file. Email is on file, so you can get the file. Forget password, you can say SMS going to come, but only thing is system does not send SMS. Channel unavailable for this user because you have not registered as a phone number. You have only email ID. So UI prompts phone not available, use email instead, right? So that's something your UI should give you option. Is the error message going to get, right? And then you can choose email. So basically you use the different system, right, to do the password reset, SMS or email. But while setting up your profile, right, if you're not given email or phone number, then even though you reset the password using phone number, this is what you're going to get it. This is what expectation should be, right? Right error message is also very much important as a user. That's something you need to understand. Okay, and then use the email address and submit that. You'll get the recovery link. This is something saying valid email format, but no account. We are saying that email address is correct, format is correct. You have, before at the rate you have text, after at the rate you have this .com also there, but that is not registered. So again, we have to get the message that UI, so generic message that if an account exists, if an account exists, then it will come. Otherwise, no token sent, verify logs sandbox, prevent user enumeration by satisfying AC behavior. So if the email ID not registered, right, in that case, you cannot get the link, right? And no link will be sent to you. And then again, you cannot reset the password. So these are the different scenario you can consider and design the test cases. Now, if you look at, and again, you have to review this entire test cases, right? You have to review the entire test cases. Whatever it has been covered, are we good? Or we have to also add something which you are missing as well, right? So you cannot rely completely on the AI, but you have to review all the test cases, what they've covered, what they've not covered, what you can think now more. You got the basics of all the AI generated test cases. Okay, so that is how you have to, generate test cases, generate test data also, and you can use this GenAI. So GenAI is nothing but only creating a text or image or videos. You can also use GenAI in our test case design using different technique. Yes. So similar line, we can also create some test cases as well. Similar line also we can create bug while reporting the bug. Also we can do that. Okay. Now this is something which you can also practice, right? Okay. The you write the script or prompt for, you know, while going to report the bug, give this called a precise, steps to reproduce this bug. And you write expected result, actual result, and you feed the test cases there, right? So, and you can say, hey, you can give the test case, you can give the requirement user story and say, write as steps to reproduce this bug and what is the expected, what is the actual, and what is the severity. So, reporting a bug is also very important aspect, isn't it? If you're reporting a bug and developer is coming to you again saying that, hey, what is this defect all about? Meaning that you're not reporting a quality bug. If developer coming to you to asking information means your reporting is not good because time is going to consume, right? If every defect is developer coming to you means your escalation will come on you. Developer will escalate. Hey, QA people are not giving the all the information so developer can fix it quickly because time getting delayed to fix the bug when they come to you again. So make sure that you're giving enough information so developer can fix the bug as they receive the bug. Okay. And severity also should be correct as well. Similarly, you can generate some test data for all the various testing scenario while, of course, you have to maintain the, business rules, everything, compliance, and you can do that. So again, you can try giving the prompt that, hey, generate, 20 test data for this particular scenario, right? And you give that all these permutation combination of different technique, it will generate test data for you as well. Because our functional testing is all about data driven testing, right? We cannot test the application without data. And how the real time defect is coming from production because of they might be using this application with real time data. So when we say test data generation, we are trying to generate all possible data through which we can find the bug right now, then finding the bug later. So hope you got some idea, right? How can be used, right? A couple of things you need to understand, okay, that how this is going to, let me share my screen for this as well to show you a couple of limitation, risk, okay, or best practices, how we can use them. So understand the entire your testing workflow, different application integration, because otherwise AI can, you know, generate something which is against the requirement also, right? That's something called AI hallucination, right? Of course, you have to also maintain that confidence also because like confidential is very, very important, right? You cannot share your credential there or anything which is a company proprietary code into public AI tool. By the way, I mean, when organization using all the AI tool, okay, they restrict not to give your, credential or anything or any specific data which is related to organization, right? As we use right now, all the AI publicly, right? When they set up in their organization, they'll filter everything. They will not pass from the public domain. It will not go to public domain. But still, right, you have to be cautious because there is a very big security concern for all the IT companies. And as I said, use AI as an assistant, not a replacement, critical thinking and domain expertise. Again, guys, we can use all these prompts to give the prompts and give that, use your business expertise as well, right? Uh, to giving a prompt. So who's driving this output? AI is helping you to generate the test cases. AI is helping to generate the test data, but who is driving that? That a human we are driving it, right? We are giving right prompt, right? We are giving the right context. We are giving the business scenario, correct? We are giving the technique, what technique to be used by AI, right? So use AI, let giving all the information and then, AI will generate for you, which are very, very effective test cases, effective test data through which you can find the bug. Ultimate goal is to find the bug in the system, right? So these are the, practice which you can follow, right? To uh, get the proper test cases and test data. And it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop here. That's the manual testing you're going to do. Then it comes to called automation testing, right? So even though in automation testing, there are some tools which is coming under two categories, right? One automation tool which is going to where you can write a code To generate the automation code also, you can use AI. Again, right? You can, let's say, if you want to even generate a X path for particular element locator. Now, AI also read images. So you'll have design document. Anyway, you're going to have the application live and going to automate them, right? When do we automate, guys? When we have the application present in front of you, right? So you can take the screenshot of that particular module and you give HTML code there and say, can you help me to generate XPath for this? See, you don't have to apply anything, struggle anything to find XPath. And it will give you various options. And there, let me take example. Can we take example again? Let's have a look. Um, some of the application we can use it where we can find element locator for that, right? So let me use something called, we've been using multiple times login page. Let's use something else, right? Which may giving you a little complex scenario. So let's take example of any website you want to give, um, any UI which can take. Okay, we have taken that right as example for payment gateway, isn't it? So that also we can take as an example, and we can generate multiple test case or find element locator as well. But some live website also will stop you to finding element locator. Let me use some websites. Tools QA is there, but having a lot of advertisement. Anyway, that's let me use that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Let's look at some automation perspective also. Okay, how we can generate XPath, how we can write Selenium code for that as well, right? So let's say this is called date picker. This is called date picker. Now you have two types of date you can choose. One is going to be select a date and calendar is opening here, and you can select whatever year you can select from here, month you can select from here, and you want to see, hey, I'll click here. For that, I can have an element locator. You can find element locator. And to click over here again, you have to find element locator as well, right? So look at here the element locator for this. Okay, look at here. This is called element locator. This is called drop down, right? The moment you select the drop down, you can go and have drop down. So by default, it is selected August 2025. Well, look at a lot of things are there, right? Which one can choose? This is can be your class file, sorry, class value, or select class we can use from this. It is started from date picker from here. Okay. So if we'll take the HTML code, all right, let's see, copy full X path. Let me put it here. Or HTML code, let me copy that. Okay. Let me copy HTML code. Copy outer HTML code, not the X path. And let me share the full screen now. Share the entire screen because I'm navigating multiple screen now, right? So I have taken the HTML code. Okay, first one is just ignore that. I've taken the full HTML code, which is going to come in this format. Everything will come, right? When you copy this HTML code, okay? Whatever contains in this div, everything will be copied. Okay, everything will be copied. In this will have everything. Okay, so give this as a input, right? Give this as an input. and come here and say, based on this HTML code, and you're also going to attach the screenshot. Okay, give the screenshot as well, because that is what your application can do, right? So give the screenshot also, because your AI tool going to use your screen as what is the, see here, you can also attach the screenshot as well, right? So AI can read your all the screen as well, right? Whatever image you give. And based on attached UI, okay? Again, I can give here act as a Selenium Java automation tester. You make the role play as well. Okay. We can say generate, generate XPath for all the elements present in the attached image using given HTML code. This should be good enough to go, right? So even you are struggling for finding element locator, you can use this approach and you can just hit enter. It will give you different element locator for each field. See here. Do you see that? I can see date picker widget, calendar of August 2025 with navigation control and text box showing the selected date. And you can use this XPath or month drop down, year drop down, calendar header, previous month button, next month button, day cell, a specific date example you want to give, currently selected date, text box showing selected date, and how you can use them. What do you want, guys? Tell me. Okay, what do you want? Tell me in automation. So AI, Gen AI can help you. And of course, Gen AI and good prompt will help you to do everything as you want to do manually. Can save some time, guys. Can save some time even while doing automation, right? Because I'll tell you why automation has come into picture. To reduce your regression cycle time, right? While working on one of the project, while I was not knowing the automation testing in 2014, I was going to do manual testing for that plant, right? Once I finished my functional testing, manual testing, he asked me, Santosh, can you automate that? Because every release they're going to do regression testing. If I have said no, then I have to do maybe regression testing. It will take 1 week time to perform regression testing. So what they said, can you learn this automation and can you do that? So the regression cycle from 1 week, it reduced to 2 hours. But to do automation, you may spend 1 month or 2 months. Now, what in this AI world, what is expected? You cannot take 1, 2 months to automate that as well. You have to reduce your automation time also by using AI. And this is how you can do that, right? Rather, you struggle for finding element locator for every field, it will take time. You just upload the image, upload the HTML code, and it will give you everything, including code as well. And use them. Okay, use them, right? What is left over then? Isn't your automation also going to be so fast to automate that entire application? Because main struggle in automation world is finding an element locator, not writing the code. Every field you have to go and find an element locator, right? Which is given you readily available here. Yes or no? That's what we are going to do exactly. Okay. So take any example, guys, take any screens which you want. Take a specific block because in that block you'll have HTML code as well. Developer also developing a code like that, right? For one block of code, they'll put into one block of HTML code. Okay. Are you getting it? So can we expedite our automation as well? That is yes. So Gen AI going to help you not to write test cases, not to write or design the test data, the different combination of scenarios, going to help you to report the bug, effective bug as well, right? It is also going to help you to plan your test plan. You can plan your entire release, or you can also use automation where you can write your auto. And nowadays, look at here. If you want to generate the code for same code, you can use it and say, hey, I want to generate this code in the playwright format. Okay. Let me show you, right? You want to write this code into, let's say, generate this code, right? So this code has been generated for Selenium Java code. Okay. I'll say translate this code in playwright format using, you can say use JavaScript if you want to, right? Using JavaScript. See, it is going to write playwright code for you. People are say, right, that a lot of tools are coming in the market. How we can automate them? You know the context of automation. What exactly required in automation? You require to find element locator, do send keys, do click, do select the drop down. Okay. You don't have to struggle too much. You know the context, you know how the automation working, only going to different some specific code that can be generated. Many organizations, they are translating their Selenium automation code to Playwright to Cypress by using AI. Remember, if the project requirement is to write a code in Playwright and Cypress, you can do that. There's no limitation in today's world that, okay, if you don't know this, that's I'm not able to do that. No. Now everything is available on fingertip. You can do that. So which language you want to write your code, right? You want to write code here, Python, JavaScript, Ruby, C Sharp, you can do because syntax is very standard. Are you getting it? So as I topic was only cover that how to use this Gen AI and effective prompt to design our test cases, design our test data, report a bug, prioritize those bugs, okay, and automate them as well using Selenium Java or Playwright or Cypress, doesn't matter. Give the screenshot of the particular functionality, copy HTML code, give it everything, and going to automate for you. You just fit into your automation. You know where to fit that, into pages, right? You have page object model in the framework, you can just fit into that. All right, guys. So that is what we can do. Yeah. Using Gen AI and prompt engineering. So specific to QA, I covered this topic. And that's all from my side, guys. I'll stop the recording.